athletes in World Indoor Championships history. You won 3 gold medals, 1 silver medal. You're also one of the most familiar faces in athletics because you've been competing for the best part of the last 2 decades. I mean, it looked like you were never going to stop. Can you tell us what athletics has meant in your life and what it means now that you've gone into coaching?
Well, first of all, for me, the reason why I competed so long is because I really enjoyed running. If I was physically able to compete today, I'd still be competing. So, athletics provided me with a lot of friends, a lot of excitement, and I got to travel the world. I traveled the world, see different cultures, and different people. I made a lot of friends like yourself, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And because of that, I want to give back, and right now I'm a sprint coach at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. And it's just, it's a joy for me to watch athletes improve, especially at the Air Force Academy, because those athletes are going to go on and serve the country in the armed forces and protect our nation.
Alan, speaking about these World Championships here in Sopot, and more specifically about the women's hurdles, how do you assess Sally's form and chances compared to the US hurdlers? You're a coach for the US team. What do you see as Sally's best assets, both technically and mentally?
Well, honestly, I was actually having a conversation with a female American hurdler who formerly won a gold medal.
Named?
I'm not naming any names. If you don't know who she is, then I think you can figure it out. But, we were talking about Sally back in 2012, and we were just like, this girl she's perfect. I mean, she's just, start is great, technique is great. And then we were joking, we were like, well, yeah, she'd have to fall down and break her leg twice in order not to win the Olympic Games. Unfortunately for her last year, she was injured. I could tell watching her that she wasn't in top form. But in my opinion, when Sally's in top form, she's the best, not one of the best in the world. I mean, last year we had Brian Rollins come up and run well. And as a fan of track and field, and a fan of the hurdles and women's hurdles, I want to see these two go at it. I think that with both of them, I think that the women's hurdle world record would definitely be interesting. But more specifically about Sally, though, like I say, I think she's probably the best hurdler that I've ever seen in person.
Wow, that's something to say about. And what about the men's hurdles? There's no Aries defending his title. We have 2 French guys at the top of the world indoor lists. Shubengov is the next best, and one Terence Trammell, that I think you know very well, leading the US team. Do you see Sopot as the breakthrough of a brand new generation in the men's 60-meter hurdle?
Well, I think so. I mean, right now I think the hurdles are a little bit in transition. And I think that a lot of these young guys are going to use this championship here in Sopot to try to establish themselves as the front runners, going into the outdoor season, and then obviously going on next year to the World Championships, and then even on to Brazil, to Rio in 2016. So this is where it starts. I mean, the Indoor World Championships is a great platform to start a career, establish a career. So I think that for the male hurdlers, that this will be the championship that'll do that.
Do you want to pick one?
I'd probably say no. Really, it's extremely difficult to actually pick someone. I mean, obviously on paper, Pascal Martineau-Lagarde, I would say, is the favorite. But as Sally said in the hurdles, anything can happen. It's about making it to the final, and once you get to the final, dealing with that pressure, dealing with the athletes on either side of you, competing hard. So we'll see. It's going to be about who competes the hardest, who makes the least amount of mistakes. But on paper, Martin Odegaard, I would say, is the overwhelming favorite.
Well, thank you, Alan. Bruny, thank you for waiting for such a long time to get back to you. As a two-time winner of the men's 60 meters at the World Indoor Championships, I'm sure your focus will be on the men's shortest event on the program. Who do you see as maybe, let's say, the top 3 chances of this year's World Indoor Championships in Stockholm?
Well, I still follow track and field. I mean, this season, of course, that I see the young American Bruny run actually 6:50. Unfortunately, we have the British Dassault and the French Jimmy Picot got injured. Personally, I think Dassault could have broken the record this year after what I saw in Birmingham. But I think my favorite would be the American Bruny.
And what about the women? I mean, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is making, her first appearance at the World Indoors. Do you think it's going to be a little pressure for her, or is what she's already done in the past enough for her to come out and win it the first time?
Yes, I think with the experience of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she had a great reaction time, great starter, and I'm going to go for 100%. 100%.
Okay. Bruny, I know your daughter is quite an excellent tennis player, and you have a second daughter maybe going into track and field. Can you tell us what are your occupations now, how involved you are in track and field apart from following your daughters around?
Yes, my oldest daughter now, she's in her second year in Arkansas University. Her focus was, when she was at the Canada national team, she told me once, she's at the national team, she doesn't want to study anymore, she wants to be professional. And I had a good conversation, and the next day I told her that education is very important. You have to have a second option, So now I'm very happy. She's very focused on her study. She's an A student, and hopefully after that she will still have the passion of tennis and try to be professional like this. And my youngest one now, she just turned 18. She's in track and field, her 3rd season. She wanted to do 100 and 200, but I told her that the way I saw her running, I told her to do 400, she would be better. And she told me, Dad, you never did 400. But actually she just started and she loves it. And that's her passion now, and her dream is to make the Olympic one day. And I'll be there to support them.
Bruny, Canada has not won a gold medal at the World Indoor since 2008. Who do you see as your country's best chance? Maybe Ashton's wife or Damien in the heptathlon?
Yes, I know Ashton is in great shape. Yes, and hopefully my countryman Damien Warner will be just behind. And I cheer for him. For Ashton too, and of course that he married a Canadian girl, so that's good. but as for sprinter, I think Justin Warner last year ran 2 times 10-0. I think he can be the next Canadian to go 110 seconds hopefully, and to be with these great athletes today running 98, 97, hopefully.
Hopefully. Thank you, everyone. We are now ready for questions from the floor. If you can please.